Purchase your raffle ticket today and win a new truck in our Drive Away for Education truck raffle.
And now, Pickle, it's time for Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday.
The North Texas Honda dealers want to help you score some great deals on award-winning Hondas. Stop by your Helpful Honda dealer today or visit ntxhondadealer.com to learn more.
Do you have the breaking news sounder?
Ooh, again? We get
Hit
to
the
use it
breaking
again?
news sounder. Breaking news. The SMU football game against UCF, which had been rescheduled for Sunday, has been rescheduled to Wednesday, October 5th at 6 p.m. on ESPN2. That's right. UCF taking on SMU will now be happening Wednesday, October 5th at 6 p.m. Of course, Hurricane Ian is bearing down on Houston, or on Houston. I'm so used to it hitting Houston. On Florida. So obviously rolled through.
Did some damage.
It did some damage, so it had to move. Of course, we're thinking about our friends in Florida. But if you are interested in the football implications, SMU, UCF, Wednesday, October 5th. I believe, when's SMU's? They must have a bye after that.
They probably both have a bye, yeah.
Let me see. Their next game is October 14th. So they have a bye. So that probably works out well that they can move it and then be like, all right. So
There'll be more people watching the SMU game Wednesday night than
I cannot
watch Sunday at noon. Yeah, absolutely. So that works out. Anyway, all right. Get your questions in. High school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel. Get your questions in. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Get your questions in. We will answer as many questions as we can.
You hear?
No.
Pickle's not gonna be watching the game Wednesday night.
I got a Pitbull concert to go to, my dude. Trish is coming up.
How many times is this for you, Pitbull?
I think this is my 5th.
Let's talk about last night.
Yeah.
You were at a game. You went to Wiley and Lakeview Centennial, a relatively low-scoring affair.
Yeah, beautiful Homer B. Johnson Stadium.
That is a beautiful stadium.
It's a nice. They remodeled it a few years ago. It's a great stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. No track. You're right there on top of the action. It's built into a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice stadium. 9-6A is pretty. I mean, every game is important in that district. They're all real tightly bunched. So, big win for Anthony St. Clair's ball club there at Lakeview Centennial, 20-10 over Wiley. Very much a defensive battle. Neither offense really could do much, but nice win for Lakeview. They're now 3-1 in district, so good for them. I think they're right in the middle of the playoff race for Wiley.
Mm-hmm.
Fall to 2-1, still in the mix, but they're going to have to get some work done to get in. So it was a close, competitive, kind of low-scoring. Wiley's only touchdown came on a kickoff return for a touchdown, so it was just kind of one of those games, kind of a grinder.
Yeah, understood. Pickle, you were at a game last night.
I was at a game.
You saw our friend Wade.
Yes, and our buddy Mike
Crocs.
Alexander was there too, shooting for Bally.
Cool.
So yeah, I went to Frisco Independence and Denton High, and now Independence with their 44-10 win over Denton High was they're 5-0 for the first time in program history. So it was a blowout, but it was cool to get to see that, and all the kids were holding up like the 5-0 afterwards and stuff. So it was really good. They've got a really good. I'll look up to make sure I get his name right. It's Jake something. Their tight end over there at Frisco Independence is really good.
So you get Independence, Emerson, Lake Dallas, and Argyle, all 5-0.
Wow, big doings up there.
Yeah.
And
also, I have to ask, can we get a review on the new HEB in Frisco, Pickle?
Jake Simpson is his name. I think he's got an offer from the Land Troops, but he's really, really impressive. HEB was fantastic. I went afterwards. It was about 9:45 and it was still packed. Like, I mean, I pulled up and the parking lot was full. I was like, oh my gosh. So I just went and made a lap real fast. I didn't go like super grocery shopping.
Okay.
But I did get the HEB fajita meat, which if you know, you know.
You got some ranch too.
I got the homemade in-store ranch, which is so good.
Frisco Independence, Nick Stokes first year, right?
Yeah, he took over for Kyle Geller.
Yeah.
Who retired.
Kyle Story.
Geller's at Burleson.
Correct.
Kyle Story, yeah.
God. How embarrassing.
And you call yourself an insider.
How embarrassing.
What an idiot.
Elsewhere last night, we kind of flagged you on Katie and Katie Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we don't know.
Maybe not.
We don't know anything other than Katie's
I
good.
got to be honest, man. 1960, I think, is a mess. Like,
after Katie,
it's Katie, and then it's just like, who else? Because
shrug emoji.
Because like now maybe Jordan had a bad game, and maybe Jordan just doesn't match up well with Katie. They got beat like 70-21.
Yeah, Jordan's not very good in the front seven, and that's typically a problem against Katie. So Pato is little bit better in the front seven. So I know they played Katy next week. Maybe that'll be a little better matchup. But Katy is clearly Katy went full Katy last night.
They did. That was peak Katy. They looked good. The other headline for me came out of the Houston area. Another game we had our eye on: North Shore and CE King. It's a good CE King ball club, and North Shore dispatched with them with the quickness. But the headline is probably what came out and who was playing quarterback, as Caleb Bailey, their star sophomore quarterback, went down with an apparent injury, did not return the second quarter.
No, it was first quarter.
First quarter.
That first 5-6 minutes of the game were about as bad as it can go. North Shore fumbled the opening kickoff. CE King kicks a field goal. Then, I think Bailey got hurt on the first or second series of the game. Yeah, it was a bad first 5 or 6 minutes, but credit to North Shore, they kind of got the wheels back on, and
they moved David Amador from wide receiver to quarterback, and he threw 3 touchdowns.
And he's a good runner, and so
what does Jorts call him? Touchdown Dave.
Yeah, touchdown Dave.
I
touchdown Dave
that.
Amador.
We're literally. I saw your thing. If we have to make this a thing, that's my mission now. Touchdown Dave.
I'll tell you off the air. Yeah, it's a appropriate nickname for him, and North Shore. Coach Gaston changed the offense up a little bit to fit into Amador's skill set. Obviously, he hadn't worked at quarterback all week, and when you've got a defense and a running game like they have, you can do some things. So credit to the Mustangs.
We don't. I'm looking for any sort of update on Caleb Bailey.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna. I'm gonna dig around probably when I come back. I mean, if I hear something while I'm out, but
Coach K is pretty good at keeping things pretty close to the program.
Well, and I don't think we'll know until. And really, honestly, number one, I don't think even if it's not as bad as we think it is,
at least let him sit for.
They're not going to rush him back,
no,
because they're going to protect him. But also, they really don't need him for the next few weeks.
So here's the thing. The thing for me about them, if you really want to start playing gamesmanship, right, with if Caleb Bailey is out for any sort of significant period of time, the next time they play a game that really, really matters for them would be Week 10 at Atascocita. The only reason that really matters more than Summer Creek next week, which is a good team, the only reason that matters more is that would be for D1 seeding.
Yeah.
That, theoretically, I'm comfortable penciling North Shore into the playoffs.
I think that's a fair.
They're going to go D1, and so Atascocita is the other D1 seed, or the other D1 team, and so you got to beat them to get the number 1 seed.
And I think if Bailey's not 100%, let's say he's at 80%, I don't think they'll play him against Atascocita.
Yeah. No.
I think North Shore's if we don't get the number 1 seed, who cares?
And you have touchdown Dave.
So
they got touchdown Dave.
They got touchdown Dave. They got that defense.
Anyway, so that might be the last we see of Caleb Bailey until the playoffs, maybe.
Hopefully, we'll see him back. Hopefully, it's not a season-ending injury. Haven't heard anything. We'll work the sources as we can.
We're gonna call,
but maybe one of those deals where we don't know until if he does. Yeah, if he suits up.
Yeah. No, yeah. John K is not one.
Now, I do think if he's out,
John K is not a liar. I want to be clear, but he's not
going to give that information.
He's gonna, he'll
smoke
screen you.
I do think if he's out for the season, I do think we'll hear something eventually if he's out for the season.
I agree with that.
But I think if we don't hear anything, then I think it's probably good news, because that means he's going to come back, just a matter of when.
Hopefully, he's one of the more exciting players in the state. Here's hoping it's not too serious.
Yeah.
Anything else from last night?
Oh, wow. That was a big one. Oh, yeah, Abbott.
The big 6-man game last night. So Abbott went to Strawn and played Borden County, and they beat him in 20 minutes. They beat him 46-0 in half. That's a good Borden County team. It's a pretty good Borden. I mean, Borden County. Let's put it this way: you're not a 6-man guy. You know the name Borden County.
I do know.
Yeah, and they're a pretty good ball.
No, Abbott too.
Yeah, Abbott rose to number 1 last week over with Westbrook's loss last week, and I think there was a fair argument to be made should you have kept Westbrook at number 1. I think Abbott last night kind of said
solidified.
Come and get
some. Yeah, thank you, Coach Crawford, for making us look like we know what we're talking
about. Exactly right. No, they stifled them. That's a really impressive Abbott ball club. Keep an eye on them. All right, Pickle. Let's get some questions in for our experts, Ashley Pickle and Matt Stepp. And also me, I guess.
What are your thoughts on Orangefield and Anahuac?
Orangefield and Anahuac. All right. Let me go to my spreadsheet and learn more about Orangefield and Anahuac.
I think Orangefield's going to have trouble with Anahuac's athleticism. But Orangefield's slot T.
The slot T, it's
Coach
it's
Smalley,
the devil.
They do what they do.
I didn't realize
well.
Anahuac was 4-1. In my
Anahuac's
face.
having a good year. Yeah, Coach Neese. They got a kid. I remember seeing in the preview, like a potential FBS type recruit.
Do you know what it was?
On the defensive line, I believe.
It's not fair to them, but they lost week 1 to Newton, and I was like, oh, okay, well, kind of file them away. You know what I mean?
They're off to a good start.
But they're off to a really nice start.
Yeah.
I mean, that win. Now that I look at it, that win over New Waverly is really nice.
Yeah, New Waverly was ranked in 3A Division II for a little while. So yeah, I think it's it's going to be competitive. Orangefield typically is very competitive. I think NOX is going to have a little too much speed.
I think that's a good district too. It's a really tightly packed district. Like I'm not throwing dirt on Buna quite yet. Like I know they're 1-4, but I think the upside is still there for them to make the playoffs.
East Chambers is in there.
East
right?
Chambers is in
Woodville
there.
in there. Or is
No.
Woodville's in the district.
Tarkington's off to a nice start
Yeah.
too. Like I don't know. It's a good district there in District 10. So
I like Anahuac.
I think I like Anahuac as well. Upon some quick research, what's next, Pickle? Just being honest. Not a game that I had considered this week.
Wasn't on your radar.
Wasn't on my radar.
Well, now it is. Shout out Tony Blaylock.
Yeah.
Thoughts on a game that we have talked about that has been on your radar? How about Wall and Mason?
Is this? I gotta be honest. This feels like, even though the records are really nice, and they play like every year basically. Like these two teams, I think, like playing each other because they beat each other up.
I can tell you, even from growing up in Atlanta, we would always keep our eye on what the Wall Mason score was because
Yeah.
it's a fairly big rivalry, almost, I guess you could consider it.
And they always play early in the year. Like
Yeah.
it's weird they're playing week 6. I
They,
guess
play,
it's a
they
product
used
of-
to open. Like I want to say last realignment they opened with them.
Well, the last couple times because you went to Wall Mason at
That's
the
right,
French
that was
Dome.
week
So
one as
yeah.
well. It does feel. This feels like one that's flying under the radar by Wall Mason standards.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is like, Mason has had a couple of years where they
both
weren't,
have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where they weren't like Mason, like they've kind of fallen back from the Furio and Shiners in week 4, but like Mason's resume is pretty strong.
They're off to good. This is a better Mason team than probably the past couple of years.
They have a
had,
1-point loss to Coleman in the opener, and that's it. Like they've run past everyone else. Their defense has been really good.
This is going to be a low-scoring game.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Wall's defense is really good too. So this is
a touted
first one to
Craig Way
20.
rock fight.
First one to 20 wins.
Let's put it this way. They've obviously got more results than this, but I just want to just point this out. Mason played Coleman and lost 7-6, and Wall back in week 3 played Jim Ned. Do you remember the score of that one?
3-0.
3-0. So yeah, if you are expecting
The first one to
44
6 is
if you're
gonna
expecting
win.
44-41,
Wrong game for you.
wrong game for you. I would expect the punters to get a workout
Yeah.
this one. That'll be good. Anyway,
Big punter.
be a good game. I think I took Wall. I think I stick with Wall.
Yeah, I think
especially at home.
Wall's a little underrated, especially dropping down to Division 2. I think they're going to be a team to watch out for come playoff time.
And once they get into district play, I think they're still the favorite in that district. What's next?
Let's stick in that classification, and we'll go thoughts on Refugio and Three Rivers. Because, again, how about the Bulldogs?
All right, I think I'll say it. All right.
Someone cut this.
That's you.
They're
Pickle.
like
I know.
Refugio's going to beat Three Rivers tonight.
Okay.
It's a hot take. And then Shiner's also going to beat Three Rivers whenever they play, right? But I think Three Rivers is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good ball club. And I think that this was a game that kind of caught my eye, and this is the perfect example of like a game where other weeks would get buried because there's like, this is the benefit of like the big open date is that we can focus on teams we haven't been able to. Looking into Three Rivers, I think this team's legit. Like, I think their defense has been really good all year. They are difficult to game plan for. I don't know. Like, they go Refugio, Shiner back to back. Like, so they're gonna lose their next 2, and they might even be ugly losses. But I could be talking to them being better than Ganado and being the third best team in that district.
I think Three Rivers Ganado is a really good game. I'll say I think Three Rivers is going to play either Shiner or Refugio tougher than everyone. Well, one of those two.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Refugio. Three Rivers for some reason does tend to play Refugio tough for a little while, like relatively speaking, right? Like I think there was one year it was like 28-0, which
by Refugio standards is pretty good.
So like I think they'll play him tougher, but it's
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Because and like I said, Refugio is your favorite. Refugio is your clear favorite. I want to say it's homecoming for them. I think they're going to put on a show, but I do think that this is not throwing dirt on Three Rivers, and I think they are in a Region 4 that essentially outside of Shiner, and we haven't talked a ton about it, but like outside of Shiner and Refugio, like who's the third best team in Region 4?
Yeah.
There's a chance it's Three Rivers. I think it's a pretty good ball club. That's all I'm saying. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah. What's that?
Let's go big school here. What are your thoughts on Angleton Fulshear tonight?
Not interested.
Pointsy.
Pointsy is, well, if Fulshear has their way, it'll be Pointsy.
This is gonna be this. We're gonna see just how good Fulshear is this week. 'Cause Angleton's pretty good. Angleton's got a win over Manville.
Yeah.
I think they're the highest scoring
They are.
team in the state.
They're averaging 65 points a game, something like that. I mean, they're lighting it up. Nick
This'll be-
Canuti and his awesome hair are lighting it up.
Hard part, team hard part.
Team hard part.
This will be Angleton will be the best team Fulshear's played by a factor of at least 2 or 3.
Yeah, and so here's the thing is, right now their best win is that win at Magnolia, which was impressive, 53-50. That's how they have to win these games.
Yeah.
Because for as much as we've talked about, we've talked a little bit about like Stephenville and like my trepidation with Stephenville at the moment. Like
the
Fulshear
defense,
is that turned up. It's like, all right, offense unbelievable, defense also showing up, also appearing.
Yeah. I think Fulshear's going to have to find a way to. I don't think
stops.
Yeah, I think eventually they're going to play it. Like Angleton, I think is good enough to stop them a few times, and Angleton's explosive enough.
And the other thing is that Angleton is the kind of team that they're explosive, but they also they'll take the air out of the ball on you. You know what I mean?
They're old. They run the spread now, but they've got some wing T kind of principles still in their systems and schemes. So
they'll slow it down on you, and I wonder if that's exactly what they're going to do. I wonder if they're going to if they're going to try to take Coach Jason Britton's going to try to limit possessions in this game.
It's big old school ball versus new school ball.
Yeah,
is the feeling.
There's certain elements to that, which is, it's a big night in 10-5A Division 1.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of the district race is going to start to flush itself
between
out this week.
between this one and then the Magnolia West and
Foster
Richmond
game.
Foster game. It's a big night in 10-5A Division 1. What's next, Pickle?
Let's go with, what do you think about Tatum? They had a tough preseason, but they hung with number 7 in 4A Lumberton.
I got to tell you, okay, so I made the point, and this was like 3 weeks ago on Tap and Step. I told you, I think it's when they were 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
When they 0-2, after they got done playing Dangerfield pretty tight.
Mm-hmm.
I made the proclamation that they may end up being like an awesome 0-6 team. They go and they beat Pittsburgh impressively. Then they go on the road and beat West Rusk, which is that's a feather in the cap.
Yeah,
that's a signature win. And then he's exactly right. He or she, I don't know who answers the question. They are exactly right that they hung with Lumberton.
Wesley Williams.
Okay, yeah.
I guess it's a dude.
He's exactly right. They hung with Lumberton. They gave Lumberton a run.
Yeah.
And now I have concerns about their defense. Their defense is capable of getting lit up.
Yeah.
But their offense is going to be able to hang in that district.
I don't think there's any reason why Tatum can't win the district. Gladewater's not what they have been. Who else is in that district?
Jefferson in Atlanta.
I would take Tatum. I think Tatum's got a pretty good shot to win the district. I think
you're probably right.
Jefferson
okay. Jefferson's okay.
They lost to Centerville and Timpson, so now Timpson's Timpson.
And we have a rule now. We don't fall for Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Tatum.
We've been burned. Anybody who listens to Tep and Step knows we've been burned by Atlanta 4 years in a row.
Tatum's got a great shot to win the district.
Yeah. I think that it's one of those iron sharpens iron type things. And by the way, that week 1 loss in overtime to Center has aged really well.
Center's ranked this week.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. That's a good loss. Okay, what's next? It's ranked 4A.
Let's go. Your thoughts on Mount Vernon?
Still developing.
Still trying to figure out what they're going to be because
I'm
hitch to Mackenzie McGill and say carry us because last week against Mineola's fine.
Mineola's an okay team,
and it was 28-25 in the fourth quarter. Now Mount Vernon scored twice late to pull away, but clearly this is not a team. They're wounded. Obviously losing the quarterback is just
so they play Bonham tonight. They'll beat Bonham in my opinion. Then they're at Winsboro.
That's the game.
That's when we ask me then after that, and I will have a fully fleshed out opinion.
That is
on what
a rivalry. That's
And it'll probably be who's Winsboro got this week. Probably not matter. I think they're going to win.
Yeah.
Winsboro's got Commerce. They're going to win that game. So it's going to be battle of unbeatens. Mm-hmm. That's a big game, probably for the district title.
Yeah. Winsboro's kind of gone. They were slot T, and then they've got the Finney kid, Finney's son, as a quarterback, and all of a sudden now he listed him as a wing T team, but they're throwing it all over the place. Mm-hmm. He threw for 500 yards last week as well. So
they lit up Emory range.
Yeah, they're slinging it around.
I am on Mount Vernon. My jury is still out. The loss of Braden Bennett, their quarterback, there are few teams that are as reliant on their quarterback.
Completely changes their personality and trajectory.
Still really talented.
It's still really
totally
talented
different
team now.
Exactly.
Though.
Yeah. What's next, Pickle?
What is the best Halloween movie? It could be scary or not scary.
I don't really like scary movies or I can't think of a Halloween movie really. I liked Garfield, but that's not really Halloween. It's like just a cat.
It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
I'm not a horror movie guy.
I've said my piece on Charlie Brown before.
Yeah, and you're wrong.
I think Charlie Brown's washed.
You're wrong. And I feel bad for Hank and
my
Max.
wife's really fired up that Hocus Pocus 2 is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
She's real fired up about that.
I always liked. Did you ever do Halloween Town, or was that kind of after your time?
No.
Because that was like big Disney Channel thing.
The Nightmare Before Christmas is the best Halloween movie.
Okay, yeah, that always looks creepy, and I don't
It does
like
look-
scary
my wife
movies,
likes
so
stuff
I
like
don't
that.
Tim
watch
Burton,
it.
it's great. It's a musical. It's awesome. It's
I
really
also
good. The
am not
music's
a
great.
huge fan
You
of
would like
musicals.
it. Do you not like scary movies?
I don't like scary movies, and I don't really like musicals, so I
It's not
really don't think I would
super
like
scary. It's not super scary, I promise. What's next?
All right, let's see. Thoughts on Wiley East versus Garland?
District lead is on the line in
Yeah.
9-6A. Every game has been really competitive. It's going to be a close game, I think.
That is a district where trying to think of how many teams I can picture winning the district now.
4 or 5. I mean,
4
I
or
can see
5.
Wiley
I mean,
East, Garland. I can see Lakeview getting hot. I can see Naaman getting hot. I mean, there's at least 4 right there.
It's a wide open district. So yeah, I think I'm buying it on Wiley East. I think I'm willing to buy
Marcus
in on
Gold's
them.
squad's been moving up to 6A has been good.
It has been. It's weird.
Yeah.
But like that's a team that like moved up a classification, but I think got stronger. And maybe it's just that this particular team is more well suited. But
They have a lot of 3-year starters
yeah,
too.
I don't know. I like this Wiley East team. Yeah. What's next, Pickle?
So Corpus Christi Miller got a huge win last night, and they want to know if
They did.
if they're a legit contender to come out of 5A Division 1 Region 4, which
Yes.
100%.
Or maybe PSJ North now.
So that's the question. The question is, so a lot of this comes down to if you think one of the Valley teams are going to do it.
Yeah.
And there's reason to think they can, and there's reason to think they can't. And if it's not a Valley team, if it's not Vela and it's not PSJ North, it is pretty
Miller.
clearly Miller.
Yeah.
I don't think Vets.
No.
They're not what they were.
No.
Yeah.
The one thing I think about Miller that's a little they're kind of doing this quarterback rotation thing with Jaden Brown and Trevor. I think his last name is Long. I think they need to pick one eventually. I don't think the rotation is eventually
Get off the pot, so to speak.
They need to pick one. Yeah, I think that's going to be the one thing. They can get away with it now in the regular season, but I think in the playoffs they're gonna need to settle on.
They're
one.
5-0. They're going to finish 10-0. Like they're better than everyone.
They play Vets on that Thursday that we're down in the Valley.
And that's the district title.
That's the
game.
district title game, yeah.
But like I'd pick them right now. Like that'd be my pick.
And I don't see anyone. I mean, I think the 4 best teams in Region 4 are PSJ, North, Vela, Miller, and Vets.
Yeah, those are 4 because the other 2 districts are San Antonio districts, and they're not like the heavy hitting San Antonio districts.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'd be like San Antonio Southwest or something like that. What's next?
Brazoswood is a surprising 5-0.
Yes, they are.
Weak non-district schedule and 1-0 in district. Will they be able to win enough district games to squeak into the playoffs?
Shout out, friend of the program, Joe Dale Carey.
Joe Dale Carey did a great job.
Doing work down there because that's a program.
They've struggled for a
Yeah.
long time. Now, smart non-district scheduling.
Yes.
Good non-district
Building
scheduling.
confidence.
Yeah. And I will say this. The Clear Creek ISD schools, I think Brazoswood can challenge for 4th.
I think that
Clear Springs and Clear Falls and Dickinson are kind of the top 3, right?
So yeah. So here's the thing.
Dickinson doesn't look as explosive
I-
as
no,
they
they're
did last
down this year, yeah.
I know Clear Creek is 1-4. I get it. I understand. I don't save your emails for me. But that is the kind of game that old Brazoswood loses by 3 touchdowns. Like to win that game and to win it pretty resoundingly, I think is impressive.
Brazoswood, for the most part, has not won any district game. I mean,
No.
they can't beat anybody in Clear Creek ISD. So
No. And
Clear
by the
Creek's
way,
not one of the worst teams in Clear Creek ISD.
no,
so.
and you know who is probably, in all due respect, Clearbrook, who they played this week.
Yeah.
They're going to be.
Tua.
I think they're going to be 6-0.
Is it a 7 or 8 team district? There's
7.
5 Clear Creek.
7.
So it's 5
7.
Clear Creeks, Dickinson, and Brazoswood. So really,
So here's the ball game. Here's what it's going to come down to.
you got to win 3 games.
I can tell you what it's going to be. So let's say they beat Clearbrook. Okay. The next 3 weeks are at Clear Springs, Dickinson, and Clear Falls. Okay. Probably 3 losses.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. Open date, close against Clear Lake.
I
And
think
that's
the game.
for the 4th
That's for
playoff
the 4th spot. Yeah.
That's for the 4th playoff spot, straight up. And I don't know. They're different. And I think Coach Carey deserves a lot of credit.
He's done a heck of a job.
That's really impressive. So What's next, Pickle?
Thoughts on the Battle of the Red Rail tonight? Going down at
Are they playing that?
Mustang Panther Stadium.
They playing that? Is it like the Gopher Warrior Bowl where they switch the name depending on who wins the game?
They just call it Mustang Panther no matter what. Good bit though.
Yeah, that is a good bit.
I think they go alphabetical order. That's how that was decided.
So we're going to be at this game. Bally will be at this game tonight.
Who's
Madison Hawk will be there.
Madison Hawk, our friend Madison Hawk.
Hi, Madison. I don't know you, but hi.
This is a state-ranked team or state-ranked matchup, and I think that this is. Let me put it this. I mean, this is a nice way. I can be convinced that either of these teams are contenders, and I can also be convinced that either of these teams are frauds.
Yeah.
Like in 5A Division 2, because no team has emerged.
It's still open.
It's still wide open. If Grapevine goes out there and drills Colleyville Heritage and they just mulch them,
which hasn't happened in a long
time, then it's like I'm willing to jump on board the Grapevine bandwagon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vice versa. If Colleyville Heritage goes out there and they drill Grapevine, I'm willing to be like, all right, maybe Heritage got a little something, right?
Yeah.
But I have no feel for this because both of these teams, I think their best result this year is a loss.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Grapevine lost to Argyle and Colleyville Heritage lost to Texas High, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Both those, that's their best result because Colleyville Heritage did beat Ennis, but that is Everman beat Ennis.
Yeah, I know. Gosh.
But that's not, unfortunately, no mean feat this year. So I am very intrigued. I think one contender will emerge tonight. I think this is an elimination game as far as contenders is concerned.
We're not going to know anything of the schedule the rest of the way. I mean, all due respect to Fort Worth ISD is they're going to dominate.
No, this is the district championship.
Yeah.
Hard shot.
So for me, the winner of this game gets to stay on that short list of contenders in a wide open 5A Division 2. And the loser honestly just drops to the second tier. I'm just being honest. The way that I think about it is going to be like, all right, you're going to finish second place in kind of a weak district, and we'll see what your matchups are.
You'll probably win a playoff game or two.
Exactly right. Yeah, that's where I'm at. What's next, Pickle?
What's the most unusual concession food that you've had at a high school football game?
Ooh, unusual.
I haven't had it, but I've seen sushi at South Lake. I mean, I know that's.
They have sushi.
Yeah.
Riley.
That's when Todd was there. I think that's been a
Dodge family.
I know. Yeah.
Fix this S.
I mean,
I ate sushi at a baseball game once.
Did you?
In Seattle. And eat your roll.
I haven't seen a lot of unusual foods other than the sushi at South Lake. Press box, I've seen some stuff. But
I'm very interested in. Yeah, we don't eat at the concession a lot because we get fed.
I had a hot dog last night.
So in a couple of weeks,
it was good.
In a couple of weeks, I think I'm taking Hank.
They had great ladies there to serve you too, which was awesome.
Nice.
They were very nice.
In a couple of weeks, I think I'm taking Hank to his first football game on a Thursday night. I think a JV contest at the high school nearest to my house and stuff like that. So I think he's very excited to get popcorn. Stuff like that.
Popcorn solid.
Yeah, we'll see. It's very exciting. The great thing about that, I think the freshmen play at 5:30, and then the JV starts at 7, and whatever. It's going to be people running around. So we're going to go watch the freshmen for 45 minutes till he gets bored, and then we're going to leave.
There you go.
So there you go. He's excited about it.
I like it.
So, what's next?
If you could see, scratch that. If UIL could
3, 2, 1.
If UIL could change one rule, which rule would you like to see changed?
That's a good question. I'm not a fan. I mean, this is not a UIL. This is I'm not a fan of the targeting. I hate the targeting rule. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Just not a fan.
I
think the slot T guy is probably the blocking below the waist is probably
the cut block rule is something that they would like to go back to what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. So
here's what I'd like to do. Let me go off the board here. And this is never going to happen. I want to organize this. What I would like to do is I would like to render district numbers meaningless when it comes to playoffs. What I would like to do is if you're in Region 1 and you qualify for the playoffs, you go in the jar. You pick a ball out.
Okay.
Can you imagine how much fun that would be
And we
For
should,
us?
Yeah, we let us do it too.
For us?
Yeah, that would be a blast.
Of
Now,
like- of
travel
like-
costs would.
Well, that's the problem. But here's the thing: is that like if you're in Region 1, if you're going deep in the playoffs, you're already kind of budgeting in
Right.
that you're going to play an El Paso team or something like that. But if, you keep it within regions, right? You're not going to have like, Katy has to play their first game at Amarillo or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
But I think that would be very interesting because right now,
Like Selection Sunday almost.
yeah,
That would
because
be
like
cool.
right now we can plot out, and I can tell you, like, for example, I really like, as long as Allen takes care of their business in Division 1, I like their path in
Yeah.
Division 1. They probably run into, depending on if South Lake Carroll gets into Division 1, they run to South Lake Carroll in like a regional final, which I think, based on what I think of Allen, would be an overachieving year this year to make it to the fourth round of the playoffs. So I would love to have it where it's like mix it all up, and maybe you get a great draw and maybe you get a terrible draw.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I think that would be fun. That's just me. I know coaches would never go for it
No,
because they have to scout.
Yeah,
Like that's the thing, because I know you get texts all the time of like, hey, how do you see this district finishing?
So they're trying to plan out the scouting
yeah,
schedule.
because then it's on our off date, so we're gonna go see whoever because we might see them in the first round.
Which
of
is so
playoffs.
funny because when you think about like us two, how that would change the dynamic of like the shows that we do, because it would kind of be like we wouldn't have as much information when you go to, as we can right now we can
no
go
playoff projections.
Yeah,
No playoff
exactly. Like there's
projections.
no way
But-
that would be cool.
But can you imagine
The ratings.
the Sunday show we would do
Oh,
after
yeah.
it comes out, like Saturday, like make it Saturday night after all the games finish. Like we tell everybody, games have to end by 5 o'clock on Saturday, and then at 7 o'clock live on TexasFootball.com.
Yep.
We've got the selection
Yeah.
show.
Oh, gosh,
We're
that
gonna
thing would do
get
numbers.
Elza in here picking out.
That
She's
thing
like,
would do numbers.
She's like South Lake Carroll will play their first
It'd be
game
like
against
when we-
Allen. Whoa!
when
Like
we all
instant
sat there
reaction
and
from
watched
us.
the World Cup drawing where
Yeah.
they
Yes,
literally
make it like
open
the
up
World
the
Cup
ball.
draw.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Except we wouldn't have all the
They call it
frou-frou
Elsa.
stuff
Yeah.
beforehand, like
now,
the
to
World
be
Cup
clear,
one.
to be clear, there's a million reasons why nobody would sign up for this. But up here,
let us have fun with it.
let
yeah.
us have it. All right, what's next? Let's do two more.
What are your thoughts on Berkshire Royal and Seeley?
Hey, Berkshire Royal, we haven't talked about them.
Coach Regan's has done a good job.
They're
there.
off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, they're 4-0.
4-0, and
Seeley's 3-2.
What's that?
Seeley is 3-2.
Seeley's 3-2. Berkshire Royal is off to a really nice start, and that's another program that has been
down for a while.
down
yeah.
for a while. They're off to this is their big test.
Yeah, their schedule was pretty light.
They're punching up, like not punching up, but like they're riding in and taking on probably the second place team in that district behind Belleville.
Yeah.
you
this is
so win this game and like everyone will start paying and everyone will start paying attention to it. Seeley's a good squad. I don't know if I'm like I said, I'm comfortable sliding them at second in the district right now. I'm not writing off. I'm certainly not writing off Berkshire Royal as possibly winning this game.
I think Seeley's a favorite, but I think there's a path for Berkshire
I think this
Royal.
is a one-score game.
Yeah.
And so I think Berkshire Royal's got a chance. All right, do we have an ender?
Yeah. What are y'all's thoughts on the streaming rule being loosened and the TV rule still being in effect? I'll gladly take that one.
I had a pickle.
I oversee the streaming company that we have, so 4,000 thumbs up to the streaming rule being still in effect.
Yeah.
Watch the games on TexanLive.com. There's our promo to end it.
So the Texas, so the TV. I think the more interesting part of that, obviously, we've gone on the record. We like the streaming. We like being able to stream games. I think that's good.
I like people being able to watch football games regardless of where they're at.
I also think, my opinion, and again, like caveat over all of this, we do have a streaming company, TexanLive.com, that you can stream a bunch of games at. So we're speaking from a position. That's where we're speaking from a position of. For me, even if we didn't have TexanLive.com, I would like it because I feel like I get a better grasp and more eyes on more teams, and I can do a better job at my job because I'm able to go. For example, just the other day, I realized I haven't seen Newton this year. Like Newton's top 3 team in 3A Division II. We like them a lot. I think that right now the computer projects them to make a state championship game. I realized we're 6 weeks in the season. I haven't seen them at all, but I got to pull up and see some of their game, and so that to me is a benefit for me, and I feel like I can do my job better. As far as the TV rule is concerned, I get it. I don't think it's long for this world. But I also think, if I may speak completely out of turn, I think the UIL has that club in their bag for the highest bidder, for exclusive rights. In the same way that, like, In the same way that like the NFL is only on Fox, right?
Yeah.
It's not like CW is able to have NFL games, stuff like that. I think they want to keep that so that if somebody were to come and bid
On
for
the rights.
for exclusive rights on a Friday night, like there's a reason that like there's no other baseball games on Sunday night. There's only one. ESPN has the exclusive rights to it. I think that basically. I think that's what the UIL wants to keep behind, if I may just, again, speak completely out of turn and out of my
That
rear
makes
end.
sense, yeah.
So that's what I got.
We just got tagged in an unbelievable tweet, all three of us. Coach Ray Gates, he smoked brisket for all his players, and he just tweeted out pictures of it, and it looks amazing.
It is their bye week, and
What in the...
He also has an apron that has his name on it, which is awesome.
yeah.
Why would he send this to us?
I don't know about my stomach growled.
Should have come out there and visited him.
Doesn't he know that we do a show and we're not able to eat lunch until afterward?
Sure.
How rude. I don't care if you're going to go 10-0 and win the district.
Tepper's about to punch in how quick he can get to North Crowley High School from here.
That's it. Crowley's going to beat him in the no,
Oh, no.
I think Crowley's going to win. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. Please watch Valley Sports Southwest tonight. You're going to be at...
Coppell Louisville.
Oh, no. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Can Coppell go 5-0?
That'd be a massive win.
Yeah, be a huge win for them.
I as I said in the picks, Cowboy fight never dies.
I might.
But I'm taking Louisville.
I'll throw this up on Bally if they win tonight. If they can beat Louisville, because that's a legitimate.
That'll be the best win of the year.
legitimate
Oh, yeah.
In
Pretty
years.
Louisville's pretty good.
If it,
Years
and if they we said this on Tap and Tap. If they win this game, if Coppell wins tonight, like it gets upgraded to not just a bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Like we're
not just be,
legitimately back up.
like actually back up.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you know that if Coppell wins, in my interview with Antonio Wiley, I have to give him a hug and tell him it's from Tepper on camera.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
we'll
this
be-
is good.
so we'll
This is good bit.
I told you, I'm trying to get you some content. This
Yeah.
is for you.
I can handle that.
Go get them. Cowboy fight never dies,
Yeah.
but don't have super high hopes. It's gonna do it for us. Who's Everman got tonight?
They are playing off.
All right, they're gonna beat the hell.
They're
out
going to
of
beat
Idle.
off. Yeah, they're going to beat off tonight.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.